there, Walt from WaltInPA, and as you would imagine, my name is Walt, and you are along for a ride with me here in Pennsylvania. It's a rather sweltery Wednesday afternoon, just slipping away for a quick afternoon ride before I have to go back to work. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time to answer the nomination I received for the 7-question challenge, which I received from Quiet Man Rides. Now, I don't know if Quiet Man Rides has anything to do with Quiet Man the movie, but I like to think it does because it is one of my favorite movies with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara.
And then I have another fellow Pennsylvanian, okay, WaltInPA. WaltInPA. So he's going to be the second person I nominate. I dig his style. I kind of like watching people who have a little more of a calm demeanor, you know, and he has a very calm demeanor. At least he seems like a very chill dude.
So, back to the video at hand. So, I was nominated for the 7-question challenge by Quiet Man Rides. And basically, these are 7 questions about riding, and they'd just be a fun little thing to do to answer as I ride along. So, question number 1 is, what made me buy my first bike? So, this is not my first bike. I am a returning rider. I started riding maybe 12, 15 years ago, something like that. My family had just moved out of Philadelphia, out to Berks County, in a kind of a rural area. And having grown up in Philly, I was still in the denial stage where all I wanted to do was go hang out with my friends, my old friends. And the rest of my family, my younger brother, started making new friends, and being in a rural area, these new friends were riding dirt bikes and having a good time. So my younger brother got into dirt bikes, and then he fixed up one of my dad's old Hondas, wound up buying himself an R6 at one point, and then, you know, seeing just how much fun he was having, I decided to join in, and I went out. I signed up for the MSF course. I took the course on I don't even know what it was, little Honda Shadow, I guess, or not a Shadow, I don't remember what it was. But at any rate, I took the course on that small 250. I had a lot of fun, and then I had so much fun, in fact, that before the class had even finished, because I think it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday thing, I had bought a motorcycle that I found in the local paper for, I want to say it was like $700. I bought a 1980-something Suzuki GS 450. That was kind of hodgepodge of parts. It was, I think it started life as a 450L, which is a cruiser, and then it was partially transformed back into an E, or over to an E, which is a standard. So things were a little wonky on that bike, but I had a lot of fun on it nonetheless. And the reason I bought that particular bike is because it was local, it was cheap, and it was old. So if I wound up dropping it while I was learning, I wouldn't be too upset. Alright, so now that we can pull over for a minute, get my phone back on so I can see my questions. So, favorite trip to take, day, weekend, or longer? Well, this is a pretty simple question, a pretty easy question, because the answer is day. I've never been on a longer trip than that. Being a returning rider that is still relatively new to everything, you know, kind of still getting my feet wet, I do not feel comfortable going on these ultra long road trips. I also avoid highways just because I enjoy the slower country riding better, and I think this lends to to a question further on down the list that I don't want to jump to just yet. Turkeys. I'm one of those moto vloggers that in a high-pitched voice tells you what's on the road. So the answer to that question is pretty straightforward. Day trips. Wish I could give you more explanation than that, but that's pretty much it. Favorite destination? Again, this is really hard to answer because the answer to my previous question is day trip. So I don't really go all that far. I usually hit local historic sites. So, you know, there's no real favorite destination that I can tell you about because they're all local, and I go to a lot of them frequently just because it's a nice ride down country roads. So the next question is, what is the biggest lesson that motorcycling has taught me? And the answer to this question is, I wish I could say that it was profound and incredibly meaningful, but what it has taught me is that there's more to life than working around the clock. I don't remember whether it was this video or the previous video, but I had mentioned that I have a full-time job, I have a business, I have 3 kids that are all pretty young, and most days I feel like I'm being pulled in at least 3 different directions, and it's difficult to manage my time. And sometimes I get into a rut where I feel like it's just rinse and repeat: work, take care of kids, business, or different order, same things, different order. And the one wonderful thing that motorcycling has done for me is that it has forced me to take some time for myself, some much needed time for myself, because quite frankly, I just don't get enough of it. So riding the bike has helped me find a minute for myself and just kind of enjoy those random minutes here and there. It's taught me that there's more to life than working, and it's important to de-stress and give yourself the freedom to just enjoy a bike ride for an hour or 2. So, question 6 is, any words of wisdom for new riders? Now, this is a difficult question to answer because as a returning rider, I very much feel like a new rider. And I suppose if I were going to phrase this question in a way where I would give myself some advice, maybe that's the best way to handle it. So if I were talking to myself, one of the things that I would tell myself is that there is no such thing as over preparation. Before you get on the motorcycles for the first time, or before you return to a motorcycle after a very long time off, pick up some books, do some reading, make sure that your mind is make sure that you're in the right frame of mind. It is a defensive style driving. You need to be aware of what's going on. And sometimes, you can pick up a book such as The Road to Mastery by Greg Winmar, which is a Moto Jitsu book, or Motorcycle Information Safety Systems by Michael Wesley. And those will do a wonderful job of priming your mind for what is to come. They're not packed with motorcycle technique and drills and whatnot, but they are a great way to get you in the right frame of mind. So as a new rider, I would recommend picking up one or both of those books and just kind of dipping your toe in the water that way. And then definitely take an MSF course, or not a Ride Like a Pro course, either an MSF course or a total control course, whatever your state happens to offer, to get your motorcycle endorsement, because you'll really enjoy your time learning in a group setting, and it's much less stress and pressure than trying to do it all yourself, which again I can attest to, since MSF and total control courses were all canceled when I decided to buy this bike and get back into it. So it's been a slow process, but I'm enjoying the ride, and I'm having a great time kind of getting reacquainted with riding after all these years. Okay, last question. Any planned destination rides? Well, sort of. I have family that lives up in the Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. It's about a 2.5-hour ride for me, roughly 85 miles or so. And before the riding season is over, I'd really like to get out there and visit them. One, because I don't get to do it often enough to begin with. And secondly, because it's great riding if you take the back roads like I intend to. I've driven my car up there a handful of times taking back roads, and it's pretty scenic and nice, and there's a lot of twisty roads that are fun in the car. I can't imagine, or I would only imagine that they'd be even more fun on the bike. So that's where I would like to go before the riding season is out, is to go visit some family, and I've got a friend up that way too that I'm long overdue for a visit. So that's going to do it for the 7-question challenge. I'd like to thank Quiet Man Rides for nominating me. Part of this whole thing is that I have to nominate a couple of people to answer these very same questions. And I think what I'm going to do is I'd like to nominate Mr. G 1965, because that guy's a character, and I'd love to hear his take on all of these questions. And for number 2, I'm going to nominate 2 people to answer this question, or these questions. So number 2 will be Misplaced Motovlogger. Again, because I want to return the favor. So, Mr. G 1965, Misplaced Motovlogger, please feel free to record a video answering these questions at your leisure. Hopefully you enjoy yourself just like I did. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you really enjoyed this video, please consider clicking that little bell notification. That will send you an alert anytime a new video is posted, so that you can get right on top, get right on it, and see the videos as soon as they're released, freshly baked. That's weird. That's probably going to go away. So thank you for being part of the community, watching my channel, and all the support that I've received over the last several months. And until next time, ride safe, and I will catch you later.